Incendiary devices targeting the home of a politician, first at his car, then at his front door. For Michael Müller, a local Social Democrat politician, everything has changed since then. Suddenly, every sound, every movement can also mean danger. On the day of the attack, Müller was not at home, but had guests, a family with 2 children.
An expert was here to take another look at it. The entrance of the house was set on fire, also a tire under the fuel tank of the car, and there was a light on in the house. Someone was supposed to be killed, and that, in practice, puts it into the category of attempted murder.
Now a special commission is investigating. Just a few days earlier, Michael Müller had called for a demonstration against right-wing extremism in his hometown of Waltershausen in Thuringia. He doesn't believe in coincidences.
First of all, it was very suspicious. Or was it a very strange coincidence? That same night, the office windows of 3 SPD politicians here in Thuringia were also smashed, and all in one night. That would have been quite a coincidence.
Michael Müller doesn't want to be afraid, but it's hard. Local politicians like him are well known in the area. In Waltershausen, a lot of people know where he lives and which car he drives. The question quickly arises, is public service worth the fear?
Is it worth sacrificing my free time for this society which threatens me in return? That could mean there will be fewer and fewer people who give up their time and service in local government, on city and municipal councils, as honorary mayors or something like that.
What do politicians experience in Germany? Are they still safe? Henriette Reker, the mayor of Cologne, narrowly escaped death in 2015. One day before the election, a right-wing extremist stabbed her in the neck. Andreas Holstein, mayor of the city of Altena, was also stabbed in the neck by an anti-refugee assailant in 2017. In 2020, shots were fired at the constituency office of SPD member of the Bundestag, Karamba Diaby. 2019 saw the worst incident. The Kassel district president Walter Lübcke was murdered by a right-wing extremist. According to a survey, more than half of Germany's mayors have been insulted, threatened, or physically attacked. 19% of mayors have considered retiring from politics out of concern for their own safety or that of their families. Wiebke Schein-Schwarzwälder is the mayor of the eastern German city of Zossen. Even during the election campaign, she experienced a lot of hatred. Well, during my election campaign, we had a very extreme atmosphere in the city of Zossen. For example, we had faced the question of whether the new mayor would Islamize the city of Zossen because my husband is of Turkish origin. What is still very difficult, I can also see, is the political atmosphere, which is slanderous. Threats, insults, physical attacks. The almost 12,000 mayors in Germany usually face the frustration with government from citizens first. If you're at the point where you cancel events, if you're at the point where you feel like you're being followed by a mob, that you can no longer freely communicate your own opinion in public, then democracy doesn't work anymore. And that's where we are right now, in my opinion. Many local politicians are therefore thinking about withdrawing from politics. Wiebke Schein-Schwarzwälder has been warning of the consequences for years. She talked about it with the German president and initiated the Strong in Office initiative with others. And that's a really big challenge, because we're noticing that even now, especially when it comes to local elections, right-wing parties, right-wing oriented people are being put forward, and you see very little efforts from the rest of society in getting involved in doing local politics. And if there's simply no one solid on the ballot, who should the voters vote for? The mayor of Zossen wants more people to get involved in politics again and not have to be afraid. In the meantime, many politicians have been alarmed. Starting in the summer of 2024, there will be a nationwide contact point for threatened local politicians. Markus Kober is helping to prepare. Why is there a need for a contact point for threatened local politicians?
From conversations in the past, we have heard that those affected often do not know whether to take it to the local police, or if perhaps it's something for a special contact point in the country. Is it the public prosecutor's office, or is it a civil society service? We would like to support and give guidance.
Why do many of those threatened not file complaints?
I hear again and again that many local politicians don't do this because they may have done it in the past and then nothing happened, or they didn't get any feedback that there would be a meaningful response or action taken. Nevertheless, it would be very, very important in order to get a more accurate picture of the threat situation or the stress situation at some point.
How is it a danger to democracy when local politicians are threatened?
Decisions at the federal and state level must be explained to the people in municipalities. They must be implemented. Compromises must be sought locally in the municipalities in order to implement them. At the same time, however, local officials and elected officials also pick up on the mood and therefore shape the decision-making processes in the political parties and thus in the whole system.
Michael Müller has found the right points of contact with the police in Thuringia, but even more important to him is the solidarity from those around him. However, he does not consider politics to be blameless in raising the temperature of the atmosphere.
If you listen to speeches in the Bundestag, how aggressive it can get, I can't even watch it in one go, it can be so aggressive. So others watching think I can deal with my neighbor the same way, just like that. I think politicians should be much more aware of the role model effect.
Michael Müller has decided to pay much more attention to his tone in the future, and he hopes that others will do the same.